Welcome back to What Are Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M40 M43. It's the Tier 8 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Mines, and it's under the command of Angelina75 of OLIMP. And you may have noticed that I've got a rather colourful set of tables. Well, yes, I've been playing around with ASLanes, trying to make it easier to look at and get information from. Game on! Well, alongside Angelina is an M44, and this is a Tier 8 game with Tier 6 Arty in it. So it's a Tier 8, Tier 6. Okay, Angelina stopped here, which means obviously she's expected to do more damage than the others. But she's got the big 8-inch howitzer, so she can do that. 203mm in caliber. It's capable of doing 900 alpha and will penetrate through 52mm of armor and 10.5 meters burst radius, 12.5 to 28 seconds of stun. Rounds out. Oh, good hit for the first shot. 257. Angelina's relocating immediately just to avoid counter battery. Now, I like what she did there. She went for the tank that actually stopped at the corner to try and take shots at our guys and hit him in the rear, because that's where they're weakest. And it means that he knows that if he does that again, he could get taken out of the game. Now, I've done that many times in battles. Angelina's almost loaded. She's got a green line. Rounds out. It was right in front of him, but it got 318 hit points off him. And you can see there's lots of damage coming from the enemy tanks on the hill. Angelina's relocated again, and a heavy tank number 6 on the enemy team's just gone down. Okay. Looking at the targets. Oh, that T20. Now that's very, very silly, because that's just cost him his game, and he just suicided by going off that cliff. Self-harmed himself. Let's put it that way. Oh, another good hit. Solid hit in the eyes too, but look at that. Counter battery did come in, but it was in the wrong spot. So Angelina avoided it. So the enemy is trying to counter battery Angelina, so she does need to take precautions. And she's already looking at the GW Tiger P. Now that might have been the guy who did try to counter battery her. And Angelina might be about to counter battery him in the next few seconds. He's stopped. He's getting ready to shoot. Rounds out. It doesn't wipe him out, but it almost does. And we can see that the shot comes in from the other RT. So it wasn't the GW Tiger P. It was an AMX13 F3 on the enemy team who's trying to take Angelina out. So it might be a good idea. Yes, because that guy hasn't moved, and yet another shell was fired. He's still there, and we're about to fire again. So he is definitely going to go down with the next shot. Angelina's lined him up. He just fired, but she can fire ahead of his track. Rounds out. Oh, she would have got the kill. She would have got the kill for sure, but for the fact that somebody else got there before she did. It was an XM66F. But it looks like the enemy Arty has now stopped trying to counter battery fire her, because he's not getting anywhere with it. And he's wasting time, because if he's firing at Angelina, he's not firing at our tanks, and that makes it easier for our team to win. And in fact, now we've 5 up on the enemy, and it's looking pretty bad for them. Okay, we're loaded. Rounds out. Another direct hit, 213 hit points, and Angelina starts hugging the wall, just in case he decides to pay her another visit. It just doesn't help them if they do try to do that. I think the AMX13 F3 AM is in the corner. It certainly looks like somebody was firing from that direction. But we've now got a Chisu to fire at. Okay, he's just been hit. It would be lovely if we could get this shot on target. Okay, he's ready. Rounds out. Here we go. Lands next door to him for 62, but it did stun him. Are we going to get some stun assist? I hope so. Angelina relocating after she's fired. She's making it very difficult for the enemy to get shots on her. Okay, there's the Chi-2 again, and it looks like the other Arty, the M44, fired another round at him, and he is stunned at this moment, but won't be for much longer. And in fact, actually, that M44 is picking up stun assist, but he's run out of stun now. Angelina fires, rounds out, and she hits him again. Oh, and the MX13 F3 wasn't in the corner. He was round the corner, but he has been killed, and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats for the first game, and it was a third-class tanker for angelina75 in the M40, M43. She managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 6. And a win rate from the game was 1,813, which is very good. Let's have a look at team score and see how she did. Well, didn't get the highest damage. That went to the XM66F, and of course, he benefited from getting that kill on the GW Tiger P that Angelina just hit. And he picked up the high caliber and 3,399 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the T28, who managed 2,110. And the third highest damage, well, just beat Angelina. He got the Kanonenjagdpanzer 105, got 1,859. But Angelina was very close with 1,842. So she was just 17 hit points behind the Kanonenjagdpanzer. When it came to kills, the XM66F again, 5 kills, so he's still got the top. 2 kills went to the T3485M, the Chi-2 SP, and the Object 252U on our team, and only 2 players on the enemy team actually managed to get kills at all, and both of them got 2 kills. That's the Kanonenjagdpanzer and the Chi-2 SP, 2 apiece. And when it came to Angelina, she didn't get any kills at all, but I think you know that that was also a good thing in a sense, because it meant that Angelina was getting close to getting a Confederate. And although she did want a couple of kills in there, I think she would have liked the Chi-2 SP and the GW Tiger P. When it came to base XP, Angelina's a little closer to the top. She's actually in 5th place now, with 1,227 going to the XM66F, which means he got the top in all 3 columns. 894 to the T3485M and 771 to the T342GFT. Angelina got 591 experience points in 5th place. When it came to the details, we can see she fired 8 shots in the game, 5 direct hits on those, and no penetrations, but 8 splash. Damage of 1,842, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 5 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but did get 284 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a free-to-play account, Angelina made a profit of 8,384 credits from that game, including a 15,000 mission completion credit, and she also picked up 1,182 experience points out of the one as well. So a reasonably good game, but it is a first game that she submitted, and this one was on the 10th, so 3 days ago. So Angelina and Talon have both sent in subsequent replays. So we'll watch Talon's one next and see if he manages to do better than Angelina. The second replay is on the highway map, and we're on the northeast spawn. Game on. Well, as you can see, it's Talon, and he's got that M for an ace tanker. Yes, he's had one. In fact, actually, he's had quite a few awards on this vehicle as well. I always like to put those marks up just to reassure my teammates that they're not dealing with an amateur. But again, when you see more than one mark on a vehicle, then you know that you're not dealing with an amateur. You know that the person on the other end is more than likely competent enough to help you. Of course, sometimes they do expect you to perform extra high, and well, we just found out where one of the enemy Arty is. He's actually in that corner there, and we could pay him a visit with a shell, but obviously we don't have the precise position. And because this vehicle only carries 16 shells, it's much better to use those shells for the enemy tanks than it is to actually counter battery. It's also got a very long reload time. The standard reload for this Arty, 46.1 seconds. Rounds out. Oh, so close! He almost got the A and BT, but he has to relocate now just in case. And he's doing that. Yes, it's got a very long reload, the M40, M43, and there's not much you can do about that other than try and modify it as much as you can, and not only get the crew added extras or whatever it is. Yes, the I'm not talking just about getting grubs and arms and everything, but also the using the not vouchers. I've forgotten what the term is now, actually. Terrible. Couldn't remember what it was. He got some stun assist off the Barask, so it looks like that one worked out. The directives. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, the directives. You can actually buy batches of them, and they do improve the overall performance of your Arty. Now, he thinks that the enemy Arty might be over there, so he's marked the ground. There's no guarantee that we know exactly where he is. Not just yet. Well, oh, now this is a good target. Scorpion G rather, because of course they don't have much armor. Rounds out, looks good. Just went too long. Landed behind him to one side. If you get a direct hit on a Scorpion G, it's normally goes as a pen straight away. Very thin armor. Now, yes, you may wonder about these the new tables, by the way. I'm using Aslane's tables, and the reason I'm using them, and there's a prime target, a Waffenträger, is because they clearly distinguish between the different types of tank. Red ones are heavies, blue ones are tank destroyers, purple ones are Arty, and that looked very close, and the light tanks come up as blue, and of course the medium tanks as yellow. So you can see at an instant what sort of tank you're dealing with, and I also selected the one which actually shows the tier of the vehicle. So they are in order of tier, and that's useful as well. Now he's trying to get closer to his teammates, but not so close as he can actually be seen by the enemy, and we can now see that the enemy is pretty concentrated up near the enemy cap area. But we've still got a chance of taking this Scorpion. He's marked the target. Okay. If somebody will actually... Or is that us that marked it? Or somebody else? Somebody else did. Rounds out. Here we go. Well, it stunned him. Made it easier for the Glonkovica. Still stunned. I was trying to explain to somebody who'd just come back into playing Arty again, because he left in, I think it was, what, 2018 or 2019? So he hadn't been around, and I had to explain all the shells and the difference between a shell that will actually cause stun and one that is just extra HE, does more damage. Advising them that some shells are more advantageous than others. Well, that was a good shot, because it was 124, but it's more stun. Unfortunately, we're not doing too well near the enemy base, but we are doing well in the town, because we've almost kicked out the enemy. That Waffenträger just managed to kill, where we've got the, we know where he is now, he's just in that bush. We're still waiting for the reload to complete. 35.72 seconds is Talon's reload time. Instead, he's going to go for the Skoda. I would have gone for the Waffenträger. Rounds out. He's going to move forward. Got him right in front. 331. It all counts. Yes, that Waffenträger is now a threat to Talon, because if he gets much closer, then he'll see Talon and should be able to take him out with just one clean shot. But we could see generally where he was. He was in that bush, and I don't think he'd move out of that bush because he's a very visible target with a very short view range. So if he did move out the bush, he'd instantly get shot at. Now our CS-52C, one of the new tanks, is coming back. He's headed back to our territory, and the Glonkovica's coming back as well. So I suspect that they think that the enemy's going to try and make a last thrust in this general direction. Something else I've actually put up on the board is something that we had before, but I think Wargaming actually took it out or reduced it. That's the wind chance. If you look at the top left-hand side of the screen, you can see a wind chance, which actually appears right at the start of the game, and throughout the game, it changes depending on how the battle is going. And the reason I put that back in is because it's very useful to show if the battle has turned against you in a major way. At the moment it's saying 47%. When they started the game, I think it may have shown that we were actually up on the enemy. Okay, he's picked a good spot to fire from. There's plenty of free sight lines that he can actually shoot over the enemy vehicles. He's having a look for a target. Any sign of the enemy? Any trees or bushes being knocked over? He was in that bush there. Now, if he lines it up, yes, he can get a shot in there. If he does, it will be worth it. I think he might still be there. He might be worried that he is going to get spotted. But you see the trees are knocked over in front of where the Waffenträger was moving. So I get the feeling that that guy has knocked those trees over for a reason. He's having a quick look up there for enemy Arty. Oh, we can hear certainly a bit of distraction going on. Somebody's up there. That's the one thing about battle assistant view. You can actually sometimes detect movement of enemy vehicles by the noises they make when your camera is actually looking over their territory. You hear fences being disturbed, things being knocked over. And that gives you a clue as to where they are without actually seeing them. Of course, Wargaming have that for both sides, so it's no advantage, just that you can hear that. Both sides have got the capability to search for the enemy by hearing things being destroyed. We're not seeing any sight of the enemy at the moment, but we do have an AMX M451 as our bodyguard. He's tier 9 heavy, and he's directly in front of us, so if the enemy does come in our direction, we will get some warning. Now remember, Angelina already has a score in the game. She's already got a 3rd class and a bruiser. So we have to do better than that. Oh, enemy Arty spotted. There he is. He's just behind that bush there. I think he's a little too far forward of the Lorraine. I think he should have aimed a bit further back. But he's changing his position in the car park. And again, perfectly valid thing to do. He's just adjusted himself quite nicely there. More than likely, the enemy Arty would have taken that as a hint that you've been spotted and changed position. Some Arty players don't do that, which is the wrong thing to do. You should, if you get a near miss, you should take it as a warning that you have been detected. All you have to do is adjust your position slightly. Well, the AMX has moved out and he's headed back towards our cap area, so we should be doing the same, because we don't want to be sitting out there like a sore thumb when the Object 274A decides to do a quick run through the town to find out where we are. Now, as you know, it was actually the M4A3 chassis that they actually used, the one with the R975 Continental engine. Basically used the HVSS horizontal volute suspension system as the suspension, because of course they had to actually lengthen the vehicle in order to carry all that massive weight from the 8-inch howitzer. You can see that's why there's wide gaps between the bogies. Okay, the Waffenträger was spotted. And he was spotted not far away from the bushes where we would have fired before. In fact, I would have taken that shot there again the moment he was spotted and seen. He did pull back, but I think he pulled back because he may have been worried that he was detected. Again, we're looking for the tracer. Looks like our CS-52C is spotted at the moment by the enemy. But notice the wind chance has actually changed. It's now gone up from 47 to 62%. So obviously they think now we've got a pretty good chance of winning this game. Now he's having a quick look at that bush because again, any of the defenders might be in those bushes. Oh, a shell just went in and it didn't kick up the ground, which indicates there might be somebody in that bush there. Shells will sometimes give you clues, and there's another tracer. And it looks like, yes, the enemy Arty did move, but he's a little further back. Okay, there's their strip. He's already taken a heat round to the front of the vehicle. Rounds out. Incoming! Right beside him. 95 hit points, but we're going to change position just in case the enemy is watching. Again, we've got the Glonkovitsa as our bodyguard, or as a bodyguard. Now, they built 8 of the M43 by August of 1945. Another 24 were built in all from the directly from scratch, and 24 M40 GMCs were made. But they actually converted some of the M40 GMCs into M43s by just converting or taking off the M43 howitzer, the 155mm gun, and just dropping in the 8-inch howitzer in the mountings. Oh, he got a kill! Lovely! Blind kill! We're very close to the end of the game now, but it looks to me like we're not going to get a win. We'd probably get a draw. But it looks like the enemy's in a lot of trouble because our guys are all at the other end of the map now. And our chance of winning has gone up. It's now, I think it's 67%. Now it's 78%. So obviously Wargaming thinks that there's a very good chance we're going to win this one. Not gone to artillery view yet. Okay, now we're in. Now we think that the enemy RT is somewhere up there. We've got 6 HE rounds left. Oh, there he is. Rounds out. And we're into the last minute. We are capping, funnily enough. And they've just found the 274A and killed him, which means there's only 2 left. Only 2. They found the Waffenträger. He's at the back of the map. He came all the way back. He's gone. It's just the Lorraine left. And we're looking for him. I don't think we'll get another chance. We might get a chance if they find him. They've marked the map to say that's where we think he is. If he gets spotted, we'll fire straight away. There he is. Rounds out. And he's gone, and we've won the game with 11 seconds left on the clock. Here's the end of battle results, and I think you can see that win chance indicator is very valued because it did actually predict. It was getting higher and higher that we were going to win towards the end of the game. That was the second class tanker for talon1958 of OLIMP in the M40 M43. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In that one, he managed to get 9. And his win 8 was 2,502, which is Unicum standard and better than Angelina's. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to one of the M451s, the AMX M451. One of them got a high caliber top gun and steel wall for 5,499 hit points. Second highest was the Strib 1030 on the enemy team. That's the tank killed by Talon. And he got a Confederate and tank sniper and 3,494 hit points. So well done, Talon, for taking out their best player. The third highest damage, well, that went to the other AMX M451 on our team with 2,731 hit points of damage. We can see that Talon got 2,084 hit points of damage, That was he was beaten by 3 members of the enemy team, 3 members of his own team, which means he's in 7th place on damage. When it came to kills, the top scorer was the M41, 6 kills to him, 4 kills to one of the Waffenträgers, and 3 kills to the other one. So obviously it was more than one Waffenträger. I didn't spot that during the game. And 2 kills went to the Lorraine 15551 on the enemy team. So yes, he was good. Just he didn't target Talon, thank goodness. Talon did get a kill. Of course, it was that strip, the best player. So very well done on that. And when it came to base XP, we can see he's actually in 5th place because the M41 was the only one to get over 1,000 base with 1,357. And that was based on the huge amount of damage he did. 944 went to that CS52C, the new tank. And 933 went to the T95, the Doom Turtle. And Talon picked up 833 there, just being beaten out by the AMXM451, the other one on the team. He fired 12 rounds, a decent amount to get a good result. 1 direct hit on the enemy, no penetrations, but 10 splash. The direct hit, of course, was the Striv. Absolutely nuked him on that one. 2,084 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 1, and did 544 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 59,597 credits from that game, including a 50,000 credit bonus, which means that he would have made a profit even if he hadn't got the bonus. He also got 2,499 experience points out of that one as well. So decent game all round with good results. And he says, use that W key. Yes, it does. It is actually quite effective. Move about as much as you can to get better angles on the enemy. And if you want a bit of safety, go back to where your teammates are so you can not just hide behind them. It's not like you're hiding behind your mum's skirts. You're actually seeking security in numbers, because many's the time that an Arty's gone back to just behind his teammates and ended up shooting the enemy tank that had come to try and kill him, and the teammates were basically there watching as the Arty did it. So anyway, that's the second game done, and it means that Talon's in the lead because Angelina had a 3rd class on the bruiser. Now Talon's got a 2nd class on the bruiser, which is better, even though he's got a better win rate as well out of it. So can Angelina get a better result? Well, we'll watch the 3rd replay, which of course will be the one that decides who gets to lie in tomorrow morning. Let's have a watch. And here is the 3rd replay, and Angelina's managed to get the south spawn of El Halluf in the Bat Chat 155-55. Okay, it's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it, so she's bottom tier again. And you can see 1 mark of excellence on the barrel. Yes, she's been playing the Bat Chat a lot. In fact, actually, I think she likes both of them, the Bat Chat 155-58 and the 55-55. 155mm howitzer, capable of doing 680 alpha. Let's bring the marker up because it does help if I move the cursor. 48mm of pen, 7.6 meters burst radius, between 12.5 and 27 seconds of stun. It may only be a 155mm, so it's not doing a huge amount of damage, but it's really the reload speed really can be really good. And the standard reload by the book is 28.76 seconds, but you can see Angelina's got 23.99. So it's quite a rapid fire rate. Okay, first target comes into sight, but he's not in a position where we can actually get shells. But that guy is TNH. Rounds out. Just behind him, but she did get stunned. And she got 5 hit points of stun assist from one of the shots. Change position again. Remember, this is one of the Artys which can actually move about not only quite quickly, it's got a fast speed, 56.3 kilometers an hour, but it's actually got a turret which can turn the whole way round. So you can actually shoot with the vehicle facing a different direction and then relocate immediately after that to avoid counter battery. Okay, she's waiting for one of those tanks to come out, but she's found a Jagdtiger, and that's going to be the next target. Rounds out, lands directly behind him. She got stun assist, Didn't get any actual damage. 426 stun assist. And that's just as good as getting actual, well, not quite as good as actual damage. That would be even better. Now, this grudge match, it's not really a grudge match because they love each other. But the fact of the matter is it's professional rivalry here. And Angelina and Talon, they really are putting all their spirit into this to make it fun for all of us. And I'm so pleased actually that we started, or they started doing this and sending in the replays, because it gives us something each week to root for our contestant to win. Okay, round out and a hit on the tortoise for 200. And of course we know that one of them is going to have to get up and look after Remy whilst the other one gets the lie-in. Okay, we've got several enemy targets that we can go for, and this one's a really good one. Unfortunately, I think he's just fired his load, but we'll fire in, and that will slow his reload down. He's now one shot, he's out the game. The shot goes to the Uders, actually. No, it was our Yag Tiger that got the kill on him. Now, actually, funnily enough, El Halluf is one of those maps where I feel that Arty can have the most effect. Mainly because you can actually put the shells in at the right spot to stun all the enemy. Look at that, she hit 3 tanks at the same time there. They all got stunned, only 2 of them suffered damage. But when they form a line like this, that's when you want to dig out the non-stun HE and clobber the lot of them. But of course, getting stun on them is actually probably more effective. Rounds out, here we go. Right between them. She stunned them, and she got stun assist as well. Oh, she's working hard here. Angelina really wants that lie-in. Looking around, checking for other targets. She's loaded, ready to go. Rounds out, here we go. Another one, 206 this time. You see all those hit points disappearing into the sky. That's another of the mods, the Aslane's mods that I selected. I wanted to see the actual figures drifting up into the sky so you could actually see how much damage was being done in certain areas. She fires around at 60 TP, lands one in front of him for 200. Again, hitting as many of the enemy as you can means there's much more chance of getting a Confederate. We don't have many defenders actually on this side of the valley at the moment. I think we've got more tanks in the northwest corner than anyone else. In fact, that is a big worry, that if the enemy does decide to come across the valley, we might have problems. We might have to escape and evade. Well, that TNH has still got a fair number of hit points, and I think he's pulled back because one of our guys is moving in to try and force him. I think he's now cornered. The TNH has got nowhere to run, and in fact he's gone down. Taken out by the Doom Turtle. Okay, so we're moving, we're relocating. If the enemy does decide to try and make it to our cap area, one of our tanks will come back, but it's a good idea to actually get out of dodge now whilst we can. Even the T92 HMC is making a move for the corner. Now, as you know, they did make a prototype of the Bat Châtillon 155-55, but it wasn't accepted. Was designed in 1955. Instead, they decided to look at a auto loader to actually try and make that instead. That didn't get accepted. She's lined up. She's ready to go. Rounds out. Oh, beautiful shot. Right on the money. There's the other one. Oh, it's like upsetting the apple cart and all the rats are coming out. And yes. Okay, so we know where they've gone. It's just a matter now of getting our guys to spot them. And Angelina might be able to pick up a counter battery fire medal. Okay, we're looking just in case there's an enemy tank trying to hide in that corner. Yes, he is. A 60 TP. Is he going to stand and fight? Well, he's standing, but he's fighting on the other side. Now, we know the enemy Arty is somewhere over here. And sometimes what you can do is you can go overhead and use the overhead method to actually see where the traces are originating from. TVP, 4-shot autoloader. Takes a little while to reload, so he's in reload right now. He's relocating whilst he's reloading. Rounds out. Close. Only 2 enemies left. The Arty's one of them. The other one is the TVP that Angelina just fired at. She's going to be loaded very shortly. And the TVP's gone now, so Angelina's last chance to get a counter battery fire medal, and then it'll be the end of the game. So Angelina's positioned herself nicely. We're looking for the enemy target. Unfortunately, some RT players don't want to stay the entire game, and they decide to self-harm, shall we put it that way. And yes, that's exactly what's happened. That guy just did that, so he should be reported. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a second-class tanker for Angelina in the Bat Châtillon 155-55. She managed to get a Bruce medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. She managed to get 9, as many as Talon in the last game. And her win rate from this one was 1,790, which is very good, but it doesn't beat Talon, I'm afraid. Yes, Talon's last game was the second-class bruiser and 2502. So it is the win 8 that sorts this one out, and Angelina got a lower one, which means Angelina didn't beat Talon, but she came very close. Let's have a look at team score. The highest damage in this game went to a Udas 1516, who didn't survive the battle, but he got 7,285 hit points of damage in that game. Second highest damage went to the AMX50B with 4,865, and the third highest went to the 60 TP on the enemy team, 3,346 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see, before we do that, Angelina got 1,631. Sorry, that was the reason we came here. Yes, Angelina got 1,631, which has been bettered by 4 players on the enemy team, 3 players on her own team. She's in 8th place on damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see the top scorer was the Udas 1516, who got 4 kills. 2 kills went to the AMX50B, the TL7, and the Doom Turtle, the T95. And 2 kills also went to the 60 TP and TVP T5051 on the enemy team. And only 5 players on the enemy team actually managed to get damage out of that one. And when it came to base XP, Angelina's in 5th place, managed to get 824. The highest score was the Udas again, 1,230, means he got the top in all 3 columns. 1,072 went to the MX50B. Those were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base, but the Emil 2 managed 848, and TL7 828, and Angelina 824. So they were all close together right at the end. Angelina fired 11 rounds. Again, another decent number of shells to get a good result. 4 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 14 splash. Well, I think we can guess which one was the penetrating shot. There was really only one win it. It's the T92. Yes, she completely nuked him with 1 round. 450 hit points to actually get him. She got a 680 alpha, went right into the vehicle, completely blew it apart, and it was a penetrating shot. 14 splashes. 1,631, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 1, but didn't get a Confederate because somebody else had better results. So who was that player? Who was it? Yes, I'm afraid it's the Udas, and he actually had 11 and 4, so a 7 difference to him, and actually only had a 6 difference. He also got the high caliber and Confederate, and 10,088 on the win 8, so a very good game for that guy. But I'm afraid that beat Angelina 7-1 because that's only a 6 difference. 1,285 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns. On a free play count, Angelina made a profit of 13,783 credits. Again, she got a 15,000 credit bonus. And she also picked up 1,648 experience points out of that one as well. She said, darn, I missed the Confederate by one tank. Just one tank. If you'd hit one of the other enemies, then you would have got it. If only it had been the M53, M55, the guy who went and drowned himself at the end. If Angelina had got a fair shot at that guy, she would have got the Confederate as well at the end of that game. So that would have been lovely. So there you go. It's Talon again. He's done it again. He's proved that he is still got it and still has the ability to win. Not by ace tanker this time. It was a strong struggle by both sides, but at least we do have a victor for this weekend. Hope you enjoyed that contest. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.